Hello, this is Patrick at Qdabra, and welcome again to our testimonial videos. Today, I'm happy to welcome Misti Ackerberg to our videos. Misti is an amazing customer at Mississippi Valley Regional Blood Center. Misti, welcome.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm the content management administrator for SharePoint at our company. And I've been building forms for quite a few years, several of those most recently with your company, so around 2 years or so. And I chose FormsViewer because you were the only full service option for me to get what we had currently for our forms into something very usable and full service for all of our employees.
Well, thank you so much for choosing us. You've got a lot of employees, right? 800 people, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Wow. And you're one of our heaviest form users. You've got 38 forms. In fact, I've got your site open. I'm going to switch and show everyone here all of the different templates you've got. You've got 40 or 38 templates are active, and you've got them wonderfully organized here. And maybe if you can talk to this organization, you discovered this yourself, right?
Sure, yeah. So our organization is very department centric, so it made the most sense to separate these out into department areas so that it would be easy for me to find the forms that I needed to do whatever function we were currently doing, whether it was updating or adding a new form or creating some kind of diagnostic for it. So
you've got 426 opens this month, and we're on day 16 here of March. It looks like you've got more increased usage lately.
Very heavy users. We just this last month had a real push with some videos to our employees about ease of use and how to get around our website. Our internal intranet is new, so since the beginning of this year, so people are just now starting to obviously get comfortable with using a lot of the forms and finding their way around, because we typically were at around 240 opens and now we're double that. So,
and how have you found the increased usage? There's no lag? Is it the same kind of performance you saw before?
Oh, yeah, better. I mean, every time that we do some of this, we find more efficient ways to do it. You help me figure out better ways to do things, and people really love it.
That's great. And you're 365 SharePoint Online, right?
Correct.
Well, let's take a quick look at a couple of your forms here. I know you've got a lot of forms, so it's kind of tough to decide which one to look at. But let's take a look at the staffing management form. And I want to kind of draw attention to this beautiful HR form, very colorful HR forms page that you have. You're very well organized.
Oh, thank you. This was as a result of, there's a lot of data for every department, and we were having trouble finding a way for them to get to what they needed quickly. So the colorful option is just a way to distinguish each of the different either functional areas or directly links to forms, like the staffing management form.
Yeah, and tell me a little bit about, tell our listeners about this form.
So this form, traditionally they had been using, I think 4 to 5 different paper forms. And this was one of the first forms that you helped me with. So we combined all of that into one form for them. So they have a one-stop shop, and they pick which type of request they want, and it instantly pops up with whatever type of information they need to fill out to get whatever support they need.
Oh, this is great. So you've got, the beautiful thing about your form is that it's so fast to switch between these different views.
Yeah, well, when I did that myself, it was not, but your team has helped me make it much more efficient and much quicker than what it used to be.
I'm trying to. Let's take a look at another form. This is your corporate intranet site, and I'm going to click on the vehicle rental request form and take a quick look at that. That one also opens in just 2 or 3 seconds there. That's great open time you've got. That's wonderful.
It does, yeah.
And the forms are very simple, easy to read, very colorful. And this form is for a vehicle rental request. Obviously, someone's going to move some blood around, right? They're going to, or something.
Or themselves, depending on what they're
Themselves. My
doing.
God, they're going to a conference, right? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I just gave blood 2 weeks ago, and I'm still feeling kind of lethargic, and I'm blaming it blood on that.
Oh, sure.
um, let's see.
You go right ahead.
Let's take a look at your time off trade form. Tell us about this form. What does this form do?
So this form, this department in particular, the big majority of our employees are with this department. And so they are working almost 24/7. And they need to have the ability to, one, request time off, but then two, request to ask for the time off. There are so many employees that you can't just enter a time off request and have it accepted. So this form allows them to say, this is the time off that I'm thinking about taking. Is that possible or not?
Oh, that's very cool. So it actually checks
Yeah.
to see if the slot's open.
Correct.
So you have
And the nice thing about this form is that, you know, the way that I had traditionally made the forms, I was having to recreate the wheel every time I did it, and you guys were able to help me figure out how to reuse the same templates, so that I have the same unified look and feel for all of our forms and how they work.
We got to fix your alignment there on the date. It looks like it's a little bit.
I know it's a little off, but you know, if that's the only thing, that's fine.
Oh, that's great. I love how it renders as you go. That's great. So thank you so much. Was it worth it? I mean, tell us about whether we were able to meet your expectations.
Oh my gosh, it's worth every penny. It was seamless for me to transfer all of my InfoPath files over to you. Anytime I have problems, you guys immediately help me. So, and you have provided solutions that other companies that I previously worked with said weren't possible. So that was really the thing that cinched it for me, was that you guys don't take no for an answer. You help me. If there isn't a way to do it exactly how I want to, you propose other ways that will work and that are sometimes even better than kind of what we came up with.
Okay.
So for us, it's not necessarily something you can see right off the bat, but it's the solution support that you provide that really hits home.
Well, I'm really smiling. Thank you for doing that. You started off with the Cadabra Basic, 16 hours a year, and you found that I guess you increased to the support plan. What is it? The standard support plan, 32 hours, but that's still very inexpensive, right? I mean, we're talking about maybe 4 or 5K a year in total support, and then there's a small licensing fee you're paying for the online the usage, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It was worth it for us to work with a provider that knows what they're doing. It saves me in time from having to search and try to figure out how to do these things when I can come to you and you can help me figure it out much more quickly.
When you started with those InfoPath forms and you moved them over, how much was the initial migration time for those first batch of forms? How long did it take from start to finish?
Oh gosh, I want to say, well, we moved them over and started using them immediately. So probably the first week. I mean, it was fast.
Awesome.
So,
and I want to just quickly mention for those of you who are listening, thank you for listening. FormsViewer is the migration path we built for our customers. We've got thousands of InfoPath customers. Microsoft has discontinued InfoPath. FormsViewer is the only in-place migration with minimal effort out there today. We have freemium licensing for the web. It's free if you're on-prem for the licensing, and then we have an optional hourly support plan to help you with anything that you want. And we've got a lot of new features. We're doing webinars and training this month. We did a webinar yesterday on March 15th to show some of these new features we've added. Lots of interesting stuff. And I want to thank you, Misty, so much for doing this testimonial with us today. Thank you.
absolutely, anytime.
Have a beautiful day.
You too, thanks.